Hello there, welcome back to another Gabe Pizza video. It is part 2 of a 4-part series, and it is day 1 of winter. We need to get to work. Immediately, I blow the pan full on accident and it starts raining, as the gods need to punish me for this heinous act. Then it starts snowing, and I get my thermal stone all warmed up. In winter, your body temperature slowly lowers, and without thermal gear, you will start to freeze and take lots of damage. These penguins show up on the coast very often. They're very annoying. However, their house does have a bunch of ice glaciers which you can mine for a bunch of ice, which is just free filler and crockpots. The snow finally disappears for some reason. I don't really know why that's happening. And I just go and mine some gold and find some pig heads, which I can hammer for free pigskin and sticks. The swamp is always a dangerous place and it usually hurts us with tentacles. And these tentacles right here are attacking Chester. This is not good, so I take out the spiders. Next we jump to this wormhole to get back to base. Next I see that I can craft a thermal circuit as long as I scan either a firehound or dragonfly. Unfortunately for me, firehounds do not spawn in winter, so we will have to resort to scanning dragonfly. As you remember before, I failed to beat Dragonfly, and this time I'm back just to scan it. Now that I have the thermal circuit, I can go back to base and craft it. I also find the moonstone set piece, which could be useful for a later find. I also found a touchstone, but more importantly, the Mac Tusk. If I kill the Mac Tusk, it has a chance to drop a Tusk, which I can use to make a walking cane, which gives me an extra 25% speed bonus. Fortunately, the Mac Tusk is kind of hard and finicky to beat, but if you lure it far enough away, it will just try and walk back to base and you can kill it. Luckily for me, it did drop a Tusk, and I can make the walking cane. I also make the thermal circuit, which if I plug in, my body temperature will never drop below 0, and I will never start freezing. Next, I burn down the forest to get some charcoal to make more crockpots. We need to have a full kitchen so we can always make some food. Next, I plant a bunch of trees in a row for a later strategy you'll see later in the video. Kitchen fully complete, I can get to cooking, but first I'm going to make a boat with the think tank I made earlier. The boat lets me traverse the ocean, and is very useful, but you'll see that this is actually one of my greatest mistakes. Next, I build a campfire on the boat, and usually you're meant to build a fire pit, but I built a campfire, and foolishly, this sometimes lets the boat start to smolder, and if you don't pay attention to it, it could start to catch fire. I found Pearl's bottle, and we found Pearl's island. I'm not going to go to it now. Immediately, I get overwhelmed by cookie cutters. I should not have come here. And now there's a hole in my boat. Great. There's more cookie cutters coming, and I think I bit off more than I can chew. I need to get back to base now. Oh my god, they're digging so many holes through the boat. We're gonna go down soon. There's 4 holes in my boat. I need to get back to base now. Luckily, you can repair a boat with any form of wood, and I was able to repair it enough to get back to the mainland. I'm angry at my failed endeavor, so I decided to go and kill the penguins. These penguins are pretty tricky to find in the group, but once you get them down, they're pretty easy. They also drop a bunch of eggs, which will be useful to craft some healing, because we need to prepare for Deerclops. Deerclops is the seasonal winter boss that appears on day 30 during night. If you do not pay attention to him, he will come and destroy your base. He also has a massive sanity aura drain, so we need a bunch of cooked cactus in order to keep our sanity up, and have nightmare creatures not attack us. Here, I use my Starclaw staff to spawn a mini dwarf star, and I try and kill some beefalo for beefalo wool. You'll see why we... Oh no, all the beefalo are chasing me. I had to get out of here and make some armor. Next, I find some hounds and decide to kill them for their meat, because we need more healing for the Deerclops fight. Next, I make some pierogi, which are made with 1 egg, 1 filler, 1 meat, and 1 vegetable, and they heal for 40 health each. It's officially night 30, so you'll hear Deerclops start to growl. When Deerclops growls, he will spawn in soon and target the nearest structure. Luckily for me, I placed down a sign, and he will then target that instead. After enough growls, your character will say something about him coming, and then soon he will arrive. I need to scan him for another circuit that we'll use later. So we need to put the pan flute and put him to sleep. Now the fight begins. Deerclops goes down. I get the eye so I can use for later spring craft. That will be useful during spring. I also get all these free lives. Look at these lives. They're very useful. With the free lives, I build a Press the Hatter table, which unlocks the first tier of magic. Now, it is a full moon, and like I said, I'm going to get Glommer, which usually spawns at a stone statue. We pick his flower, and now Glommer is ours. The swamp is always doing something crazy, I don't know. It's always a war with the spiders. Look, I just killed that spider. Now, as you remember, I grabbed the Firesoul wires from before, and each one can be given to the Pig King for 5 gold each. These mole worms try to steal my gold, but I kill them, because it's my gold. Pockets are overflowing with gold. I don't know what to do with it all. Now, I am attempting to craft some steamed twigs. This will be useful because we are trying to tame a beefalo. My goal for this series is to try and beat at least one of the 2 final bosses, and I'm going for the Ancient Fuel Weaver, which means I need to defeat the Shadow Pieces. This can be done by bringing all the marble pieces together at the marble set piece. In order to do that, I need to tame a beefalo so I can carry the marble pieces. I decided to tame this one, and to get started, we need to feed him a bunch of twigs. Now that we've fed him enough, we can start to ride him. I start to go insane and fight shadow creatures, but this is actually good because I need the nightmare fuel. I then find a marauder's den and decide to loot it and fight the marauders inside for the free meat. It's a little tricky to kite, but with enough skill, you can get it. I can't mount my beefalo, so I'll have to fight the marauders face on. The beefalo also shakes off his saddle, which loses 10% of his durability. Next, I try and locate the marble set piece, but I cannot find it. is officially the first day of spring and the end of part 2 of our 4-part series. If you enjoyed this, make sure to watch the other content on my channel and also make sure to subscribe. Goodbye.